Hey everyone, my name is Sam. Thanks for checking out this video. If you get to the end and liked it, subscribe, bell notification. Things are a little bit weird and kind of up in the air right now, so I apologize I wasn't able to get a video done last week. But this week, I wanted to do our kind of wrap up to July, which kind of seems almost redundant now because it's almost the end of August, but wrap up on the covers of July, the ones that stood out to me, were of note that I have anything to say on. There were a buttload. If you liked to see all of the ones that not all that have ever been released, but like covers that are released, we do a thread in the TBR and Beyond group, and I always post them on my Instagram on Fridays, for the week. And, but yeah, these are the ones that, are of note to me. Either I'm planning on buying them or getting them through the library, whatever the case may be. Or I'm just generally hyped and the cover stopped me in my track. Actually, despite the amount of covers that I think got revealed, because July there was like a fair amount. There were several weeks where it was like 30 plus covers I think I found. There were a fair amount, and there were some that I looked and I was like, oh, that's pretty, and then like kind of kept walking. But there were still, the amount I pulled I think is probably less than the last time I did this I was doing like 3 months worth. So like, my memory of that's probably messed up. Anyways, these are the book covers that got dropped in July that I know of that caught my eye, and I have something to say about them. Something to think about them. What the hell? Okay, starting off with middle grade. Amari and the Great Game got a cover dropped. And then I think since the cover got dropped, I think originally the release date was planned for February, and I think it's got pushed now to April, which if the author needs a little bit extra time, then I'm willing to do it, because Amari and the Night Brothers was like one of the best books that I've read of 2021, and I love the goldy, orangey, whatever that color scheme is of this one, and I think it'll kind of go very nicely with the other one. I am very curious, though, about one of the characters that is on this cover, because I can't say anything about why because of the spoiler. That's definitely a spoiler. I also just really love the color, the artist who did this series so far. I love the main character. Mari looks so good on the cover with the curly hair and just kind of looks like wind blowing through, like past her. It looks awesome. It's so dope. I'm so excited for this book. So damn excited. This just like got me more hyped. Then I had no anticipation. I didn't know that this book was coming out. And then the cover for The Blood Trials dropped by N.E. Davenport. Holy crap. That looks, whoever drew that, oh my god, that's gorgeous. It's so freaking pretty. It was not on my radar. It is now on my radar I'm going to listen to reviews and probably buy it, either physical or, actually, it's an adult book. I'm fairly certain, an adult sci-fi, so it's going to be on the pricier end in Canada. So maybe I'll get it through the library or get the audiobook of it first before I place a pre-order, unless it's got a really pretty underdust jacket, because unless it's coming out in trade paperback first, it's going to be like $40, which is just a lot of money. Just the main character. It looks almost like, what's that Star Wars game? There's a Star Wars game. Is it Nintendo Switch? I don't think so. There's a Star Wars video game that I've seen, like the promos and everything for. I'm not really a gamer myself, as you can tell. And the illustration and just like the style of it, it reminds me a little bit of that. So I was like, oh, sci-fi immediately. And, but it almost kind of gives me like Avatar, like that Blue Alien movie that came out 10, 20 years ago now that we're apparently still getting a book, second movie for it sometime. Yeah, kind of look like that. And then the background illustrations with the ombre from like the pinky peachy to like the blues with the planets in the sky. Oh. It's so well done. It's stupid well done. I love that publishers finally heard us of stop giving us stupid stock photos of ball gowns. They listened. Well, some of them, for the most part. I am always kind of trash for like YA World War II historical fiction. And Catherine Locke is not an author. I don't think I've ever actually read anything by her. I don't know that I've read anything by Catherine, actually. I know the name. I follow her all the time. She's a Jewish, maybe that's why. She's a Jewish author, so we always try and at work when I'm making readers advisory graphics, I always try and, look at what we're recommending and going like, are these all white men? Okay, then maybe we swap a few of these out to be, promoting diverse reading. And she's an author. I think that the Spy in the Red Balloon or something like that. It was also like, I think an Overdrive read or something like that years ago. So I've seen the name an awful lot amount, and then I saw this cover, and like I feel like if it had just been like a stock photo, of like a girl looking off, probably not interested. But the fact that they hired an illustrator and like the little details to make this look so lifelike of the person is awesome. I also love the big font and how it's not like blocked out, like it's like it's outlined, so you can read this Rebel Heart, and it's a World War II fiction. I believe it's set in Hungary, or Eastern Europe somewhere at least. And for that alone, I would read it. But then I just, the cover, the freckles on her face are so freaking cute, and like I like the hair and kind of the outfit with it burning up, and then the city kind of going up in flames in the corner. I love it. I love everything about this. I love this. I love this so much. I wish if we were gonna have books that, like you said, that have that potential to just be like a girl, just her face, like that it would be done like this, because it's really, really well done. I can see the value in buying a book with this cover on it. I can't justify the cost of books in Canada, at least. They're bare minimum $25 a lot of the time for a cover that is literally just like someone could have taken a photo with their cell phone and been like, cool, we have a cover, give it to the unpaid intern to finish up. Like, not interested. This is how it should be done. Okay, so then the cover for This Ever After came out for F.T. Lukens, and at first I thought, oh, okay, so In Deeper Waters isn't a standalone. No, it is a standalone. They look very similar. Okay, so wait, hold on. This is Ever After. You can see the cover here that I'll insert in editing. This is their debut work. Very similar. It has to have been the same artist. And I absolutely love it. They're both gorgeous illustrations, like just gorgeous. I almost think though that it should have been published like this cover. I don't even want to say that because I feel like it's just gorgeous. It just feels weird that these books come so close to each other, and they very clearly have the same artist and very similar cover themes, if not identical, but they're not sequels. I'm very interested if it's another YA fantasy standalone. I love that we're finally getting some of those. And In Deeper Waters, it could have been more fleshed out to have like a bunch of stuff if it would have made into a series, but I enjoyed it as a standalone. And so This Ever After by F.T. Lukens take place after you've won, the revolution, the war, whatever. You have to like set up your own government. And that's normally where like every YA fantasy epilogue happens. And you're like, and then he took over the kingdom and has to sort shit out. And they lived happily ever after. And I just love that the way that the two characters are like looking at each other. And they both honestly kind of look a little evil, which has me even more piqued interest. And the background, like the first book too, had like this gentle like ombreing that just set a mood. And I feel like this one has it too, with like the pinky purple back, or the kind of purple to the pink to the purple blue at the top. I love that. I love it so much. Whoever I want to find out who this illustrator is. Gorgeous. The staff and the like swirl magical ball on top. Oh, I'm here for it. And the evil chair. Oh, it just gives me so many like morally gray, evilly vibes. I have read Madeline Rue. I've got, oh my god, my chair is spinning. Do I still own her books? I feel like I do. Might have unhauled them though, because I've been like super hardcore weeding my collection in anticipation of possibly moving. And unfortunately, it's not, well, I shouldn't say unfortunately, because I want to get the fuck out of this province. It's not moving within my like town or city or even province. It's like moving halfway across Canada again, which is expensive. So I'm gonna have to be very picky in what I bring with me back to Ontario. In that situation, I must have weeded her stuff. I must have weeded, because I've read the books already. Yeah, so I read her, is it Asylum? No, I don't think I read her Asylum. I think I owned 1 or 2, but I'm just like, I don't think I'm ever actually going to read those ones. But I think I owned 1 and 2 of her Asylum trilogy, because I'm not a big horror reader in general. I'll read once in a while, but And then I read House of Furies. I think, yeah, that's the ones that I read. I read House of Furies 1 and 2. I don't know that I read 3, but I don't think I actually owned it. So I just weeded them because I was like, I can just read that online. It's not the end of the world. They've got some half nice covers, but they did a cover change, so they don't kind of totally match. Anyways, So I was like, okay, like I'll keep an eye on this author. And then the cover for this dropped. Oh my God. Publishers, like, I don't know what's happened in the last couple, like, I feel like I had more covers to complain about like 2-3 years ago than I do now. So maybe my complaining worked, or maybe publishers were generally listening, or maybe I always heard for like the longest time they're like, oh, covers or books sell better when there's generic stock photos on them. I'm like, I think you're lying to me, because I want to know where the backup information is from this. Because if all you're doing is putting those pretty covers on series that you're underwhelmingly marketing or not marketing at all, and then you put those stupid ugly covers on books that like are like Throne of Glass and that sort of stuff with Sarah J. Maas, and throw all your marketing behind that, that's not an advocate. That's not stats based on the covers. Like, how you putting a half-assed cover on a book that you actually market doesn't prove at the same time that a book that you hired a proper illustrator for and gave no marketing to, it doesn't prove one is better, one is more sellable than the other. It just means that you want to have reasons to not hire illustrators so you can just do cheaper covers and have a higher profit margin, right? So I don't know if I don't know what's happening. Either way, the Book of Living Secrets is gorgeous. Oh, the octopus coming out of why did I do that? The octopus coming out of the book. I fucking love that. I love that. It looks so creepy and eerie, and I'm so interested in this. It's also a really good title. I'm a big fan. I am big trash of books with books in them. This was not a book that was really on my radar before the cover got released, but I am curious because I saw that and I went, whoa. And then I read the summary, and if you've seen any of my videos in the past, my reading habits, I am a big fan of weird books that like cross so many genres that most people don't know what to do with. I love that genre bending element for some reason. It keeps me on my toes. I always find them super weird. Like, The City We Became was like that. Jane Unlimited was like that. I know a lot of people didn't like that one. It was so bonkers weird, and I loved it for that exact reason. Perfect for fans of the Hazelwood, the genre-bending page-turner from Madeleine Roux follows two girls who transport themselves into their world of their favorite book, only to encounter the sinister alt-reality that awaits them. No matter how different best friends Adele and Connie are, only things they have in common is their love for the little-known gothic romance novel called Moira. And then I heard Moira and went, like Schitt's Creek? Also, if you haven't watched that show, get your shit together, watch it. So when the girls are tempted by a mysterious stranger to enter the world of the book, they hardly suspect it will work, but then suddenly they are in the world of Moira, living among characters they've been obsessed with for years, except all is not how they remembered it. The world has been turned upside down, the lavish balls and star-crossed love affairs are now interlaced with unspeakable horrors. The girls realize that something dark is lurking behind their foray into fiction, and they will have to rewrite their own arcs in hope of escaping the nightmare. Just because I didn't, like, I know so few people who read the first book, I was surprised that they didn't do a cover change for the cover of The Sweet and Savage Tie by Chloe Neal. I read, oh my god, where is it? I am like blanking on every book name today. So I read The Brighton Breaking Sea. It wasn't as much as I was hoping I was going to, oh, that's not a sentence. I didn't love it as much as I was hoping, but I really, really enjoyed it still. I thought there was just going to be more like lesbian romancing whilst pirating, and then it was just like a straight romance that was unnecessary and didn't add anything. So I plan on keep reading it, but I hope that is going to be fixed. So I am very, very curious. Oops. I'm very curious, but very excited that the sequel kept the same cover concept and illustrator. I love the colors too. This teal turquoise, like blue with the yellowing hue. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. I never would have kind of matched those two colors together, I think, on a cover. But I just realized looking at this image that those aren't waves. That's a dragon. That can't be an accident. This whole video was worthwhile. I just noticed something I didn't notice before. That's not just a water. What's the word? Wave? Oh my god. That's not just a wave there on the bottom. With the blue before the white under the ship. There's a dragon there. There's going to be dragons in this book. I'm very excited. I don't know what the hell is going on with Sassenach anymore. I just know I just buy books that he puts out and I read them. But I thought they dropped the cover for Fall of the Argosy. Love that cover. I didn't realize that they were doing a whole prequel series, because I have, where is this over there? The Way of the Argosy, which was the first, it's like labeled on Goodreads as like number 0.05 of the series, but this is 0.06 or 0.6. So 0.6. Oh my god, why am I having such a hard time? So this is a prequel series, that's why it's 0 point, right? So I didn't know that it was going to be a series. So, and then someone tweeted or something at him and was like, yo, like, how many is like, what? And I think he said there's going to be between 3 and 5 books in this prequel series. And I was like, oh, all right. I didn't know that. I haven't read The Way of the Argosy yet. I normally try and read his books like 2 at a time. So I was waiting to see what next. Well, he was supposed to have a book come out this year, actually. Play of Shadows, and then like it got a cover reveal and everything, and then the release date came and went, and everything stayed as out of stock, and I didn't see any updates anywhere, and then all of a sudden it was like Indigo changed it to come out next year, and I was like, oh, alright, fine, I'll have to wait a little longer. So I kind of expected that, because I think he tweeted somewhere that he had like, he just hadn't gotten through it, written it quite as fast as he normally does on things. He normally manages to pump out 2 fully published books a year, which is pretty impressive. So I'll give him a pass on that, and I will definitely be picking this. I like that we're keeping, sorry, these are the UK covers too. This is this prequel to the Spellslinger series. They did release the Spellslinger series in US, different covers, don't like those. But they haven't released the prequel books, at least in the US. So these are the UK covers, still from Hotkey Press. So they match the cards, like the cards that I have. Am I pointing in the right way? There we go. Right there. I'm just curious what they're going to do, if they're going to keep the reds, because the first book is also red to match the first book in the Spellslinger series. So I figured, okay, book 2 in the Spellslinger series is blue. So if we're going to have any more, it would be blue to kind of match going through that. But this one is a red background cover and I think a black outline. So I don't know what's happening there. I'm gonna read it. I love that he's sticking with the card theme, because it makes sense to the whole story plot, and I'm just gonna keep buying and reading his shit. This was another one that I feel like I didn't see anyone talking about it, so I assumed it was going to get a cover fucking up with. But it didn't. It didn't. They left it alone. So, A Liar's Knot comes up later this year. I think it's in December. And this is the sequel to... That was a total damn lie. It was all the way over there. So this is book 1, The Mask of Mirrors. Very political heavy, but I freaking loved it so much. So much. And then this is a sequel cover. So they just changed, the mask color and like a little bit of the shape. So this one is more of an eagle. That one is more of like a beetle thing, spider. But I also noticed specifically when you look at the eye differences on this cover versus the new one, it's a different person. So each character is getting a mask, which, again, perfect relay of the book. And I was honestly, because of how thick this book is, and because it's multiple authors, M.A. Carrick is the pen name of a dual author, the same way Christina Lauren is. But I thought it was going to get pushed because it's like later this year, and I think that it's been like maybe a year, and this thing is thick. Oh my god. This thing is thick as hell. So it's like how many pages is it? Yeah, 615 or so pages. So I expected it to get pushed, but it didn't, and it didn't get a cover change. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And these are ones that are just going to look so nice, spines together on the shelves, because they have the masks there too. Love it. This is one I'm pre-ordering. I don't honestly know. This sounds weird. I really liked Love Boat Taipei. It's not a book that I think I normally would have enjoyed, but I liked the setting, I liked the characters, I liked the cover of that book so much. It wasn't perfect, and I don't think the whole like kind of sexual exploitation blackmail thing that happened in it was handled all that well, but I'm definitely interested. And then they're talking about a companion, and I was like, awesome. And then I heard nothing. Like absolutely nothing. The first book hit New York Times I think for a couple weeks, and then like the author has just like been silent online, like haven't seen kind of continuous marketing or anything for it. And then they dropped suddenly the cover, and I was surprised again that they didn't change the cover. They kept that like old like 70s with like a foggy overlay kind of feel to it while having an illustrator. And I love the makeup. You can see the girl's highlighter on her cheeks, and like I just love that, and the floating like lanterns there. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. I'm kind of impressed. I feel like there are books that come out like 6-7 months apart sometimes, and they change the cover, not actually because of book sales, but the author will say actually the artist was not available anymore. Their contract, they only were contract for the first cover, and they're too busy now to make the other cover fit into the time slot, so we had to go with someone else, and that's why we changed the cover. And you're like, okay, understand that. It's been like 2+ years, I think, between the first book, Love Boat Taipei, coming out, and then Love Boat Reunion, and they managed to keep the same artist. I was just like, everything about this, and I really hope they use the same material that they used for Love Boat Taipei. It was like it almost felt like a metallic-y texture with like a foggy overlay filter on top of the illustration. It's awesome. I loved it. I think I did unhaul it, but I didn't. You can see it's like, and the background, and then it's just, and they kept the typeset as well. It's just gold instead. So I'm very excited about that. Okay, again, despite my like difficulty with YA fantasies in the last little while, this book is the exception. Holy shit, the cover of this book. It just like appeared on my Twitter timeline, I think on like a Monday morning, and like the world froze and the stars aligned. Queen of the Tiles is like stupid gorgeous. The color alone, like the background, you got that like burnt orange kind of red brown, and that like fades up to this like salmon-y pastel pink. It's gorgeous. You got the headscarf and like the arm cross why am I doing these postures? The arms cross posture. Like she just looks like a bad bitch, and I love it. And these little pieces floating all over the place, oh, that caught my attention so much. Honestly, I don't own a single book that has a character with a headscarf on, with anything other than like none of that stuff. So like I'm glad we're getting this finally. Like I just this alone, I can imagine how much this must be, how much something like this would mean to see from someone who is in communities where you wear headscarves, for whatever the case reason being. That's not for me to dictate what you should get to wear and not get to wear or whatever. I can't even imagine how like, oh my god, that's me, you would be able to have seeing something like that. And I think the last cover that I took note of, so this is The Infinity Quartz, is Akemi Dawn Bowman's first book in her YA sci-fi series, and then the sequel cover dropped, The Genesis War. I am hoping so much that they keep the texture, the material, everything they did in this book. The moon looks like it glows. It's I don't know what material they used, but it looks like it glows. So if they can do that with like that light pink like wind, I don't know, or whatever it is in the background in this, and then have everything else like the blue kind of like illuminates, it almost looks like a UV light behind like a mirror, you know what I mean? This would look so cool. If they printed on plain matte, I don't think it's going to look nearly as good, and I don't think it's actually going to match this the same way I'm imagining it will if it has the same, like, can you see, like you see like the white, it's, I don't know how, and it's like when you see it in person, it's not foiled, so I don't know how they did that. It's like, I don't know. So I'm hoping on like everything that they stick with that. And I just, and the glowing swords are so like subtle, but then like it also matches that she's holding a knife behind her back on the first one. So it's like hidden weapons everywhere. Oh, I love this. I love this so much. I'm so happy that they kept it pink, because that was one thing I was wondering. I was like, are they just going to change it to like purple in the second book and then like blue in the third book? I like that they're keeping the pink and just changing the actual elements on the cover, not the colors. You know what I mean? Love this. Love this so much. I got so freaking excited when I saw this cover. Again, I've been struggling a fair amount with YA. This wasn't an absolute 5-star read for me, The Infinity Quartz, but I really enjoyed it and want to read the sequel. And I'm happy. I have a reason that if I am moving, I'm keeping this, because I know the sequel is going to match it. Let me know in the comments which one of these covers was your favorite. If I missed a cover, not even missed a cover, what cover that came out in July you were like super hyped about. And yeah, I will link all of these books in the description box down below. I will also link all of my social media. If you follow me, I will follow you back, unless you have a super sketch account. And unless something chaotic-y happens again next Tuesday will be the TBR for September. Stay safe, get a vaccine if you can, wear a mask if you still need to in some places. And this is your sign that if you're thinking about dyeing your hair purple, that you should do it. Go purple if you feel like you may want to go purple. It's actually almost coming off blue in my camera. It's purple in real life. Is this helping at all? I don't know. Anyways, I will see y'all next week. Bye.